Hello everybody and welcome to Story Time with me, Miss Anna. So lovely to see you all. I've got a really nice story for you today. The story is called, Can I Go Out Now? I think that's a question that a lot of you have asked your adults in the past year, especially when we've had lockdowns. And you wanted to go to your normal restaurants or your play areas where you go to like Funville or Kids Kingdom or the Spur where they have a play area. You said to your parents, can I go out now? And this is exactly what this little planet is asking in the story. Can I go out now? The author is Ebtisam Beiti. She lives here in the UAE. And Hana Augustine is the illustrator of the story. She says here, she wrote something special here, Ebtisam. She says, a story for all the children who have had to stay indoors during difficult times. So like this COVID time that we are in now. Special thanks to my family, friends and Tiny Toaster for making this happen. And thank you to Susan Roberts for continuously inspiring me. So it's especially for the COVID times that she wrote this story. Little Earth lived in a faraway house with Mummy Moon and Daddy Sun. So there's Little Earth with his mummy and his daddy. Little Earth had many friends. Solar System class. Those are his friends in school. One day, Little Earth felt rather gloomy. What an interesting word, gloomy. What do you think that means? I hear the word sad. Yes, it's a nice way of explaining gloomy. He's a bit sad, a little bit miserable. He wanted to play with his planet friends, but he wasn't feeling very well. Can I go out now? Asked Little Earth. Not today. Wait until you are better. He looked at his blue water. It didn't look very blue. He looked at his green land. It didn't look very green. But he still wanted to play with his planet friends. He sadly watched little Mercury and little Venus play hide and seek from his bedroom window. So there's all the planet friends playing hide and seek, and poor Little Earth watching them from his bedroom window. Can I go out now? Asked Little Earth. Not today. Wait until you are better. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Would you like to play on this slide with us? It was little Mars and little Jupiter. So they came to ask him to go and play. Do you think Daddy Sun and Mummy Moon will let him go out and play? Let's see. Little Earth looked at his blue water. It didn't look very blue. He looked at his green land. It didn't look very green. But he still wanted to play with his planet friends. Can I go out now? Please, asked Little Earth. Not today. Wait until you are better. "Don't worry, little Earth," said Mummy Moon. "When your water starts becoming blue, and when your land starts turning green, you can play with your friends." Little Earth thought, "If I keep my water clean, it will make it blue. And if I take care of my land, it will make it green." And he did just that. So that means he's got to look after himself. Little Earth saw little Saturn and little Uranus playing on the swings outside. Yahoo! Little Neptune happily pushed them higher and higher into the sky. "Higher, higher!" they shouted. Soon little Earth wasn't feeling so unwell. "Can I go out now?" he asked. "Not today. Wait until you are better." The next morning, as little Earth was eating breakfast, he noticed a small paper rocket flying into the kitchen. Where did that come from? Look, he's eating his galactic flakes for breakfast. What could it be? He opened the paper rocket and couldn't believe his eyes. "Dear little Earth, we miss you and can't wait for you to feel better. Stay safe. Lots of love, your little planet friends." Ah, that was so kind of them. Feeling very excited, little Earth ran upstairs as fast as he could. And he closed his bedroom door. Bam! Mummy Moon and Daddy Sun thought, "Whatever is the matter with little Earth?" Little Earth opened his drawer, found his best paints and paper, and got straight to work. He didn't feel sad anymore. He didn't feel lonely anymore. He felt very, very happy. Finally. Do you think he's making something for his friends? I wonder. He looked at his water. It was becoming blue. He looked at his land. It was turning green. Dear planet friends, thank you for showing me how to stay close to you, even though we are far away. I can't wait to play with you very soon, little Earth. Little Earth folded his paper into a rocket and happily watched it fly to all his planet friends. There they are. He's sending them a message back. And their message made him feel better. The next day, little Earth looked proudly at himself and asked, "Can I go out now?" Feeling excited, Mummy Moon and Daddy Sun said, "Yes, little Earth, you can go out now." The end. So it was hard in the beginning for him to stay inside. But because he listened to Mum and Dad and he stayed safe and he looked after himself, he took care of himself, that's when he started feeling better, and that's when he could go outside and play. I hope you are staying safe, and I hope you have a lovely, lovely week. Bye-bye.